Aragami 2 is a game that you want to play if you like a good stealth game, or if you want to rip enemies apart with cool, flashy abilities in a fast-paced combat game. Also good for those of you that miss Tenchu. Today we are going to go through the things that you should know, take into account that some details will be unknown until release, and this comes from videos and information the devs posted. Feel free to add more information or thoughts on the comments. Aragami 2 is a fast-paced action RPG game with good stealth mechanics. You have the freedom of choosing an aggressive or stealthy approach to the game. Scenarios are big and can be solved in different ways, according to your chosen playstyle and creativity. This is something that I particularly like about this game. I love games that, while being linear in design, still offer you multiple ways to solve each scenario. They give you a lot of replayability and is a playground for players that want the hardest achievements. And if Aragami 2 is anything like Aragami 1, I expect great stealth mechanics that push you to think and use strategy to solve challenging scenarios, but also a game that lets you relax and enjoy fast-paced fights if you prefer a more direct approach. However, don't expect deep RPG mechanics, deep stories with dialogue choice, a lot of customization, items, or open world. This is not what Aragami 2 hopes to be. Before going deeper into the mechanics of the game, we cannot go forward without talking about the difference between the first and the second game. Aragami is a great yet humble stealth game that sold over 700,000 copies and that achieved a very good rating on Steam. Aragami was a success. It was the first game of Lince Studios, and they brought to life a pretty damn good stealth game, yet a short one. They didn't try to be the most popular game, but they wanted to achieve a certain goal. They wanted to give fans of games like Tenchu a unique stealth experience, a new successor of the ninja genre, bringing the attention of many players with their art style. This was the foundation of the true Aragami. Aragami 2 takes the soul of Aragami and creates a bigger, better game with more of everything. It tries to appeal to a much broader audience while keeping the heart of the game, the stealth mechanics. And this is the reason why many of you, like me, are interested in Aragami 2. The improvements are quite obvious. The visuals seem completely different while keeping the art style. A very needed new UI, a bigger map, and more fluid and faster movement that lets you feel like a real ninja. Just better, guys. It's clearly a baby of a bigger, more experienced studio with bigger pockets. Let's go deep into the most important aspects of the game, the violence. We're talking about killing, combat, and stealth. Aragami 2 does have a story, which guides your experience, but we didn't become a ninja to talk to people. Its heart, its core, are the mechanics of combat and stealth, the freedom it gives you. That's what will make you remember Aragami. The ways you can play have changed, also the decisions that you can take. The addition of combat gives you a new range of possibilities. You will feel powerful and deadly, but improvements also reach stealth mechanics. While I expect that Aragami will keep the essence of what makes the first one good, which is the strategic use of stealth, now is somewhat different. You not only have cool abilities, but your capacity to move has been improved, and this changes everything. You're faster, more agile, more like a true ninja. You can explore the map in a different way thanks to being able to climb new surfaces. And if everything were to go wrong, well, your sword is with you. It won't stop your fall, but it tends to stop any argument. In this game, an Aragami can be a deadly master of shadows, or a psychopath with a sword, your choice. Now you have flashy movements, flashy executions, paired with a new stamina and parry system. Your attacks will be fast and you will have to rely on your ability to dodge more than brute force, which I think is the right direction for the game. Personally, I really like that they try to make you immerse into the game, trying to make you feel like a ninja while fighting, but we still have to see how it's delivered at the end. You will progress through the game and become more powerful, unlocking new skills if you manage to level up with the experience gained through each scenario. Choosing your new skills is very important. It will condition the way you play, and you need to be aware that you cannot get all of them. The game has shown that you can specialize in either stealth or combat, but the viability of a mixed version will have to wait until release to be proved. You will use your deadly skills against a bigger variety of enemies. If they give us new powers and strategies to use, we also need new enemies that can deal with them and keep the game fresh and challenging. Lince Studios has created some elite enemies to keep us in check, and while they have shown some of them, the amount of enemies that we will face and the challenge that they will pose can only be judged after release. Something that I really hate in video games is when enemies seem to be kind souls that wait cheering in a circle while you beat their friends to death. I have always hated feeling like this. It's like the game tells you that you are powerful, but it does so by cheating, and once you realize of what the trick is, it's never the same again. In a blog video, Lince Works said that they have improved the AI a lot, and that it will not have this behavior. I guess we will wait and see. Sadly, it's here where I have to start asking questions, since when you add combat to a stealth game, it can make it easy. And we don't know about the ability of Lince Works to create a well-designed, fun combat system and how they will keep the game challenging and fun while mixing the stealth and direct approach. I believe that the way people will remember the game will be determined by how good these systems are and how many different ways you can choose to solve any scenario. If the game hits the sweet spot between challenging and fun, Aragami 2 could do very well and become the beginnings of a great studio. As I mentioned before, the game doesn't focus on deep customization and you will not be finding loot around. You're a ninja, not a treasure hunter. There will be different costumes for your Aragami that you can unlock and let you be as fancy as you want. You can also find runes that improve or modify your powers, but that's about it. Sadly, Aragami 2 is not going to be a very long game. It's intended to last 15 hours of gameplay. It's important to note that this is intended, so depending on how you play, it could be lower. How much lower, we don't know. However, I expect some replayability coming from the different approaches that you can take to solve each scenario. You could also do another run getting different abilities or trying to improve your performance in each mission. But it also brings something really good. You can play the game with up to 3 friends, and it is going to allow crossplay. Personally, I think that this will make the experience a lot better. It's time to talk about what I think that Aragami 2 hopes to be. Their main focus is to bring a better, more complete version of Aragami that can be enjoyed by a bigger audience. The evolution from a stealth game to a game that allows a full direct approach is testimony of that. As we talk, it also brings a lot of improvements, but I don't think they have tried to bite more than they can chew. If you look at Aragami 1, it's clear that this project is ambitious, but they didn't try to add many things at a time. At the end, they are still a new studio that has grown a lot, but they still lacks the experience and know-how that they are proving to have achieved. Instead of going for an ambitious open world, find loot, craft your own character kind of game, they have focused on opening their horizon while trying to bring a well-crafted experience. I hope that the resources that they didn't waste on new items or bigger maps has going to give us a good experience without many bugs. Since to develop a good stealth game, you really need to pay attention to detail, to how enemies interact in each map. It wouldn't be a good stealth game if you can just run through or if enemies open paths because they get bugged. Personally, I'm certainly looking for fun and a somehow challenging experience. The game will be about $34, which I believe is a good price range. It's obviously not a AAA, but they have done a lot of work and they had to recover the cost of developing. I think that they believe that most of the people that like it Aragami, which is a lot of people, will end up buying, and the new changes will bring a lot of players, and more people will come if they manage a good release. The game will be available in the Game Pass on Steam and also on GOG and Humble Bundle. I want to remind you that if you are unsure about buying Aragami 2 or you may be scared that it is buggy at release, GOG has a better refund policy than Steam, with a 30-day refund policy, although in this case I will simply go with the Game Pass. And now let's get into what I think. The game seems to be a lot better than Aragami, but this is a new studio, and I'm very excited about the new changes and I hope it's all it wants to be, but I'm always on the careful side. I have been wrong too many times before. I love how the game looks, I love the idea, and I think that I will do several playthroughs exploring all the options, and I believe that many of those who like it will do the same. These are good news for those of you that are concerned about the length of the game. The game is short, but you can probably replay it in a very different way. Looking at the improvements that it seems they have made, I'm actually very impressed. You have to take into consideration that this information has been releasing over time, and they have released a lot of footage, but things could have changed, so don't take all this information as definitive since it's not complete, and wait to see how the release goes. I will probably upload some reviews, although it may take a while. Thank you for staying with me and have a great day.